It's January 26th, 2021. And after I take you through the account, I got to comment on what's going on here with these Wall Street bet, stock pumps, short squeezes, and crazy valuations. So I want to talk about that a little bit. But first, let me dive into the account real quick. So I can show you what's going on. I'm sitting at an all-time high, 155,000 right now, and I don't have GameStop or Tesla or anything like that in my account. The biggest Halo stock I have is Apple, obviously, which comprises quite a big portion of my account. So I'm speaking like this because I'm probably gonna get a few random viewers that have never been to this video log because of this video, because I'm talking about these like weird stocks. But it's not like that I want to name the stocks in particular. I just want to point out something that is pretty interesting. So let me go through account real quick then. So I'm just gonna scroll down and you can see the stock ticker here, the strike price of the option, whether it's a put or a call, the expiration date, number of contracts, whether it's a sell or a buy. And you can pause your video at any moment to try to figure out my exact positions. So I'll just run through it quickly. There's a ton of put options. By the way, if you're not familiar, I sell a lot of options. So most of these I'm just collecting premium on. There's a few calls I have. I have 2 Apple calls left. And I think I also bought 1 call for realty income because I think it's going to benefit quite a bit from people realizing that whoever's staying in their building is going to actually be able to pay rent. So these are my equity positions here, my few biggest ones. Well, I'm going to sort the account tab in a little bit, but so here they are. If you're interested in how my account's been doing, if you've never seen any of my video logs before, this is the weekly performance, 10K or 6%. That's the month, 4.63%. 3 months is 29%. 1 year, 68.72, and this is the old time. It's 130%. I started doing this account on August 28th, 2018 is when I really took it pretty seriously and tried to make something out of it. Total money entered is about $67,000, but most of that has been done about a couple years ago. The reason why the account appears so flat is because this account only had a few $100s in it before that date. Alright, so this is the account tab real quick. So here it is. I'm going to start by the way, I've been accumulating some cash, $21,000 now. However, I have used some of my margin as collateral for selling options. So that's that. Here's the total return. Biggest position is Apple. And then energy fuels, which I don't own any of these profits really. I've sold them through call options. And then RSX, Russian markets, wheat and precious metals, etc., etc. This is the position by equity. I have Apple and then emerging markets, bonds, followed by realty income and energy fuels, and then Main Street Capital. And I gotta turn off my heater real quick, as always, because it's negative 5 million degrees. Negative 5 million degrees, and I'm in California, but it feels like I'm in Antarctica, you know what I mean? Okay, now, what the hell? Oh, by the way, let's just real quick go to the GME stock so we can figure out what's going on here. So GameStop has been getting a lot of press on all kinds of media, really, and it's a Wall Street bet, Reddit darling, and they're trying to really push that stock up into the stratosphere because they're trying to squeeze out all the shorts, and there's a whole drama going on behind it. But this is the 3-month chart, it's the 1-year chart. It's pretty insane. The stock was a couple bucks not too long ago, $3 here within the year, and it's it doesn't make that much money. I mean, it's it loses a lot of money actually. It's a legacy. If you don't know, video game store shop that I used to go to like 15 years ago to buy Legends of Zelda, or something. But nowadays everything's online. It's DLCs and download the game online, free to play, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You know the whole story. And if you do have a physical console, you probably buy. You can download your game through your Xbox or PlayStation. So no one buys CDs anymore. So the game's struggling. I think they do have a play on it, and people are trying to pivot it, but that's enough about the stock. This is not the point. The point is that it's bid up into really, really high levels, really, really quick, and it's done it for no good reason, right? Just because of a bunch of people are buying call options, and the market makers are actually forced to buy shares in order to balance their books, right? Because they don't want to have all that exposure, selling calls, naked calls, right? So they fill them in order for their balance sheets to make sense. So the market makers are actually losing a lot of money because well, actually they don't really care if they're buying the stock at the money, but that doesn't even matter. Okay, it doesn't matter what the market makers are doing; they're just doing their job. What does matter though is that this company obviously is not worth that much, and unfortunately it becomes, when it has a meteoric rise like this, it becomes very, very hard to actually short the stock, right? So if you have a short and the stock goes up 50, 100%, you don't have a $10,000 liability anymore. You have a $20,000 liability, and so forth. And not only can you not short on Robinhood, by the way, you can short on platforms like E-Trade, but Robinhood you can't. But if you want to do something else, like if you want to buy put options, they're prohibitively expensive because the implied volatility of the stocks is astronomical. So if you want to buy a put option for like a month or two or a few months out, it's costing you $3,000-4,000 for at the money. And not only that, you're gonna break even only if the stock drops to like $30 and it's at 90, right? At $36-40, and it's at 90 now. So you're paying up $4,000, and the stock has to drop all the way down there. Now it probably will drop, and it'll drop all the way back down to like $10 or something. But it's a lot of money to throw away for sitting at these elevated levels. So it's kind of risky. I mean, it's probably worth the money. So let me show you. I mean, I'm right here. I have the browser. So if we go to trade options, and let's say I want to buy a put, okay? I just want to buy a put, and I'm going to go out to like, let's say July, give it some time to crash. And look at this. The $90 one costs $5,000. Okay, let's go something more recent. How about April? Same thing, $4,800. I mean, that's crazy talk, right? So how about we sell call option? A call spread, right? So if you want to sell the calls and harvest that implied volatility, these high premiums. The problem with that is, I also tried this, but the problem with that is that I can't even get the spread to work. Like the spreads are so wide, the bid-ask spread's so wide that it's really hard to fill that trade. So let me show you, okay? If let's say I'm going to sell the $90 call, and then I'm going to buy the $95 call. So theoretically, I have a credit of $100. But what happens here is, look at the limit price, right? So I have to get the right limit price in order to get that to work. So I have to work the trade, and not only that, but it's not that much. I just click preview order. So collateral $500, and I get $110 for that, which is 20%. That's not bad. However, that's a pretty big risk, right? I mean, there's not a lot of people shorting this right now because it's prohibitively expensive. So I would be one of the only ones, and it would just it wouldn't make much sense. It's too much to risk for not enough reward. But what is going to happen though? Okay, let's leave that alone for a moment. What is going to happen is that eventually this train is going to run out of steam. I mean, all of these stocks run out of steam. Now, Tesla might go on for quite some time because there's an inherent bid under the company. There are a lot of people that believe in the message and they'll buy at any price. Also, there are people who want to get into this story in the future because it's a halo company. If you want to know what a halo company is, you can look it up. I've done a few videos on that. And they're gonna beat up the price. So as soon as the Tesla drops a few $100, there's gonna be people buying it. It's gonna be funds buying it. It's gonna be individuals buying it. People are in love with the stock, right? It has an inherent bid. People are waiting for the stock to drop. However, with these stocks like GameStop, there ain't nobody who believes in the vision of GameStop, right? There's no inherent bid under the company. It's not a halo company. It's not headed by Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or anything like that. Or it's I don't even know who the CEO is of GameStop. So once the buyers run out of steam, okay, and there are no more buyers because they're all in, and the only thing that they can put back in is their stimmies or their stimulus checks or their next actual paycheck if they have one, and they've already raided the grandma's savings account, then things come to a stall. And when they come to a stall for a few days, there isn't anybody to buy, there isn't anyone to sell. But if just one person, right, one larger entity decides to start taking profits, the first person that starts taking profits, it's going to tank the stock so hard because there's just not going to be any liquidity. There's going to be nobody catching that bid. So you might try to sell 1,000 shares at 90 or at 100 or however high it goes, 150, 200. There's nobody that's going to want to buy them at 150, at 100, at 50, at 30, at 20. And that thing might drop overnight like 60% or more and then keep dropping for the next weeks as people think buy the dip, right? And then maybe a little dead cat bounce or whatever. And I'm thinking GameStop will be back at the 10s or 20s in no time. The only problem is it's very hard to profit from that, right? As I just discussed. So it's kind of in a bind, and people like me, I can't really profit from that. Not that I want to. I mean, it's not my style. I don't really short things a lot, but I'm just kind of commenting on the situation at hand. Okay, so people that want to profit from the fall of these stocks they're gonna have to really put up some money and be willing to risk it, and the profit may not even be worth it. But so I think the best thing to do is just to stay on the sidelines and enjoy the show. Okay. All right. I haven't really told you anything about what I'm gonna do with the account, but I just had to comment on this because I've been reading some Reddit and it's just hilarious. I mean, these guys. I've known about this Reddit for like a year and a half now, and I mean, when they used to pump Tesla and all that stuff, but it's just gotten even richer now. Like the lingo's gotten crazy, and anyway, if you want some financial entertainment, that's the place to be for sure. All right, I think I'm gonna end it right here. Hope y'all are making a lot more money than I am. All right, peace out.